the Real Hustle Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Chris Kiblin. Real hustle, real people, real results. You can help support our podcast by checking out our Real Hustle gear. We have t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, hats, and more. The Real Hustle gear is great for the gym or even a night out on the town. Let everyone know that you are a real hustler willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. You can check us out right now at realhustle.com, and right now we're offering all of our listeners 10% off when you use the promo code podcast at checkout. Once again, that is podcast to receive 10% off your entire order. realhustle.com.
What's up, everybody? Chris Kiblin here over at The Real Podcast. I hope you're having a great day. All right, I have a special guest in the house today for you, Michael Moutsatsos.
Close enough. You got it, man. You got it.
All right. I totally butchered that, and we can talk about that butcher movie in a minute that you do. So how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you for coming on to our show. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you as well.
Patrick's told me a lot about you, kind of gave me some background stuff on you. So why don't we kind of start a little bit? Because like one of the things that I always like to do with our guests is like, okay, so you're an actor, a movie producer, and some other thing, director? I mean...
Writer, director, yeah.
Kind of do the full gamut.
Editor, you got to do everything. Editor, score, you have to know everything.
Okay.
You got to be able to jump in.
So what decided to make you go into this type of business? Because you've been doing it for quite a while, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, as far as the acting is concerned, it's been a love-hate relationship. I started when I was about 8 years old, commercials, regional theater, summer stock, that kind of thing when you're a kid. What made me switch gears now and be behind the camera was that there's a few factors. A, technology. Mm-hmm. B, I wanted to give a crack at, since I'm a writer and I only film my own material, the horror films that I like, I want to show them to other people. So, and then also I got sick and tired of people casting people. You're too tall, you're too old, you're too short, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that.
Right.
So, now I call my own shots.
And so you started, about 30, how long have you been in this, 31 years?
Yeah, I started when I was a kid, about 8 years old. You go to the, study and, you go to all the schools. And as a teenager, New York Academy, Dramatic Academy, American Academy of Dramatic Arts, just different, Stella Adler, you go for commercial workshops. All the gamut. You try to get all that under your belt. And little by I joined SAG early as a kid. I mean, SAG was only $500 at the time.
Okay.
Today it's like, what, $3,500 to join SAG and AFTRA. So that's a big difference.
Gotcha. So where was your first big break at? Where was that?
Well, I mean, I 1981, I did Cats on Broadway.
Okay.
Andrew Lloyd Webber. So I only did that for a year, but I never went back to doing Broadway. I was my mindset back then was in the films, and I wanted to be Tom Cruise. I wanted to be all the boys coming out, right. Timothy Hutton, that kind of thing. So Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. So I was in that mindset, I'm going to be a film star,
What role did you play in Cats?
One of the Jellicle cats,
okay.
Doing trapeze stuff up in the air and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was pretty dope.
Okay, awesome. And then, then you went over there, and I saw that you were in Star Trek as well.
I did a Star Trek Voyager.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I was a Ledosian scientist.
So what was that?
It was cool. It was with Jerry Ryan. It was the second to last of the episodes before it went off the air.
Okay.
But it was a blast, man. The makeup and everything, with the prosthetics. It was pretty cool. It was rad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm excited about that. That was pretty dope.
So where did your career take you next then? Where did you go from there?
I just did lots of things back then, and it was small parts. You had day player parts. I was in The Warriors as a baseball fury. I did like movies like The Hunger. all those kind of like almost all those 70s, 80s type of movies. Everybody. I applied, auditioned for Fame. I did the TV series, not the movie.
Okay.
I was up for a part, but I didn't get it. I went up for Beach Street as the graffiti artist, but I couldn't. My drawing sucked, so I couldn't do that. But I wound up being in Beach Street in a smaller role. But it's stuff like that. It was totally different in New York. You used to go and be able to make the rounds on Thursdays, knock on doors. You can give them your photo or slide it under the door, or they had an envelope and you put it. Today you need God to get onto the set.
That's what I mean. That's what I hear. Yeah. It's like it's tough.
It's totally different. I mean, the 70s, 80s was totally different, man. It was a whole different world.
Now, do you try to keep it more like the 70s and 80s for your type of films, or do you, or is it more like it's tough to get even doing with you?
As far as what kind of movies I'm making?
Yeah, like the movies you're making, like you're saying like it's tough to get in, like now, right in New York. Yeah. Do you kind of keep that same mindset for your movies? Like, hey, I want to help people, or I want them to grow, or?
Absolutely, yeah. Coming from the actor side, yeah. I mean, I'm really loyal to my friends and other people that I've had in previous films. Of course, you have to be right for the part. I'm not just going to put you in there and, you're like some schmuck in the background. But I mean, I am loyal to people. I use people over and over, makeup artists, costume designers, whatever.
Right.
And I'm always looking for fresh talent and fresh blood, stuff like that. God bless the actors, though. It's like when you have submissions for stuff, it's like people coming out of the woodwork. That's like, I didn't ask to submit from Europe. I'm like, I'm getting some like, no, LA local only. I'm from Canada. I'm from France. No, okay. What? It's like, what the heck? So it's fun. Casting is fun. Yeah. I get a kick out of the casting.
I was going to ask you about that, because how does casting go? Because I know, I know some people, because I've had other actors and I've had some other filmmakers on, and that's the thing is like casting is just kind of a whole world in itself.
It is, because actors are so hungry, they don't read the breakdowns. I've had women apply for men roles. I've had actors apply for every single thing I've had listed on there because it's like, you know what? I can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? If I don't think you're right for A, but since I'm the writer, I know perhaps maybe you could be for B. You don't have to submit 10 different times to all the to all the parts. And again, when it says local Los Angeles, no out of town. And, you're wasting my time. I'm just clicking the garbage. You're wasting my time. You're wasting your time.
Right.
Actors need to read.
So now if anybody watching this podcast, they just need to realize, hey, actors, you need to read what they're looking for and pay attention.
Yeah, because, I'm casting 20 people.
Right.
It's very time consuming. I'm looking at reels, the video, Some don't even have a reel. They have like a commercial they did. Well, that's good, but you got no lines. I don't know if you have an accent.
Yeah.
I don't know what you sound like. And I get it. But make a reel. Sit down today. We have the technology. We have phones. We have this. We have that. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes of something. It doesn't have to be something that just came out of what's out now, The House of Gucci or something. Just give me something. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. But make it professional.
Yeah.
Be as professional as you possibly can.
Because we do get those questions, and I get people that ask me about that,
right?
Especially since we have people like you on the podcast, right? And they'll be like, "Well, what are we looking for?" And that's part of the reason why we have the podcast for some of these things, right? They don't realize, and it surprises me because you think that they would have this. Like if you're an aspiring actor, aspiring writer, director, or whatever, it's okay, put something into it. If you're really that into it and it's really your passion, it should be pretty easy for you, wouldn't you think?
They have to know that it's called show business. It is a business,
right?
You know, it's not a game. It's not this. It's not that. I mean, if you're like today's, you know, if you're a YouTuber, an influencer, I mean, that's all good. That's all good. But please be serious about what you're doing. You get one shot. You know what I'm saying? To try to catch my eye or whose ever eye.
Right.
And professionalism goes a long way with me. You know, it's simple. It's just, you're going for a job. You're going for an interview. I'm so old school that when I apply a job, I go in a tie, in a suit,
right?
Clean shoes, polished shoes. You know, I'm not there in a tank top. Okay, here's my resume. I've done 2 things. They're all acting, but I'm applying for a waiter's position. Okay, you know, I'm like, what?
Right.
What the fuck? You know, it's like, what?
No, I'm old school too. I'm like you. I was like, you know, I mean, in my day job, I'm a mortgage broker. And so, like, I'm always dressed up, always got to look the part. And, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, and I'm surprised even in my world how much I see people showing up in T-shirts and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, you want to buy $1 million house? You have someone who wants to buy $1 million house here, and you're in a T-shirt. And it's like, you know, it's like, that's a lot of money. At least here it is. And so, you know, it's like, you know, and take it seriously. So why don't we kind of talk a little bit more onto your next journey? Because I know you've done some other stuff. What do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about your movie, The Butcher? I know, and then maybe go into your new movie. Yeah,
I mean, I'll take like 2 minutes to just give you a little bit of background of how I started, maybe.
Okay.
And then we'll jump into The Butcher. Okay. I mean, everything with me is self-taught. I started writing. You know, I learned how to edit. I learned how to score. I learned how to do all this kind of stuff. I wrote 15 scripts before I did The Butcher. Okay. I did 7 movies. The Butcher's my 8th movie. Wow. And, you know, it was my learning school. It was my film school. I didn't know film from, you know, Shinola. I don't know if you can curse on your show.
You can curse. It's all good.
Okay, I didn't know shit from Shinola. But you know, that was my film school. I did not go to film school. Like Quentin says, I went to film.
Right.
I study a lot. I study a lot of tutorials, you know, and things like that. So The Butcher was my 8th film. Ravage is my 9th film. I'm working on the sequel to that. It's going to be Ravage is a trilogy. The Butcher, what I wanted to do was do something in the vein of the 70s films. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, those movies that I grew up with. I just took a storyline and like kind of Hostile and flipped it and put a spin on it. Thaddeus Hyatt, who I play, I'm in the movie, as well as directing and wrote it. Maria Olsen plays my mom. What a great score, you know, casting thing to have her in my movie. Thaddeus is a world-renowned butcher, chef, and he also has mad cow disease.
Oh wow! Okay.
What else does he have? So he has a thing for tourists. So, like Hostel, rather than, you know, Americans going to Europe, the Europeans that come here and stay in hostels at small hotels in Los Angeles, him and his henchmen kidnap them. So they take Thaddeus's tainted blood, put it into the victims, kill them, carve them up, and he serves them in his restaurants. So everybody in Los Angeles now has mad cow disease.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then this keeps going on from there, and then does any stop?
I'm working on a sequel. Thaddeus winds up going to he gets away and winds up going to overseas to Europe, which I was going to do. The second one's going to take place in start off in Italy, okay. But right now I just got diverted to doing my Ravage series. The Butcher won 60 awards.
Wow, that's awesome.
Film festivals. I did have a distributor. It was on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Roku. It was on Fire Stick. It was with Avail Entertainment. Asif Akbar and Phil Herman.
Yeah.
They put it on their channel.
Mm-hmm.
The channel is no longer in existence. It was out there for like 2 years.
Wow.
So people got to check out The Butcher. And now right now I just threw it on YouTube and, stuff like that. So
good.
And now I'm working on Ravage. So
tell us a little bit about this movie, because that one sounds really cool. And I watched some, kind of looked at some of the stuff on it. So kind of tell us a little bit about that. Ravage
started last year in the height of the pandemic. It is about the pandemic for the most part. I just got bored in my house. I had to go film, man. It's like It started out. It was going to be a short. It was me, another actor, and that was it. It was his journey, and then it just grew. And Phil said, "Make it into a feature." So I did. We started April, May last year. We wrapped. It's 90%. It takes place in the Los Angeles River, the LA River. It's a wasteland. So the movie starts out with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with Soderbergh's movie, Contagion.
No.
Okay. So it's just it's Kate Winslet and a bunch of it. It's all about COVID, how it just started to, it started killing people like here. And then I put a twist on it. World War III broke out because nations were blaming each other for the COVID. And so everybody became annihilated, and cut to the year 2032. And this one guy, Dean Taylor, he thinks he's the only lone survivor. So I Am Legend now comes into play, and what happens to him. And he thinks he's the only person on the planet left, but he's not. So that's currently in film festivals right now. It's got about 25 awards.
Okay.
In the just pre-production, and we've been doing some small filming here and there. Ravage Part 2, The Hunted. Now this takes place 2036, and COVID now became the CV5 virus.
Okay.
That's my own.
Okay, I was going to. Where did that come from?
we came up with vaccines for that, but it mutated, like all things mutate, different strains, different variants, and people became hybrids.
Interesting.
Half animal, half human, vice versa. They could have animal feet, human torso, head, or they're creatures, ravaged creature faces. So we've covered the gamuts, all kinds of animals, so it's stuff like that. Again, we're going back to the river. We've been doing a couple of, we did 2 scenes last week, and then there's going to be a third one, Ravaged Nation, where kind of like a Planet of the Apes, the entire planet is now ruled by hybrid creatures.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I call them creatures. They're not, although there are people that look like zombies, they're not zombies. Gotcha. I hate that word, zombies. For the simple fact that it's not a zombie movie.
Right.
That's why. Yeah. So that's why I'm throwing that out there. But yeah, I mean, it's been a blast.
It seems like you love it. I mean, that's for sure, and you're having fun with it.
I am. The second one's black and white.
Oh, really?
I think there's one scene that we just shot the other day, and that's going to be color. It's like a reverse dream sequence. So instead of black and white, it's color.
Okay. So
it's pretty dope. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about like how this comes together. Who wrote it, and then like coming up with the casting, and how difficult is it to put a movie like this together?
When you are financing it yourself. And mind you, I'm a waiter. I'm a server.
Okay.
I mean, I did the Indiegogos. I did, whatever other ones are out there. GoFundMe, blah blah blah. Try begging people for money in the middle of COVID.
Oh yeah, exactly. Nobody knows
They
what's
don't
going
even.
on.
Nobody had $1. Nobody had $5. Everybody was staying inside.
Right.
Everybody was. They didn't know what COVID was. Remember, everybody was panicking at the beginning.
Exactly.
We have to stay indoors and hunker down, and So I mean, all my movies, I'm financing myself as an actor.
Oh wow.
As an actor, as a waiter, and stuff like that. So The Butcher cost me like upwards of $50,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Out of your own pocket.
Yeah, out of my own pocket. Ravage was less, of course. That was, in the vicinity of about 15K. This is going to be around the same thing. But, as a waiter, I'm financing this myself. So,
That's
I'll
tough.
take donations. Yeah, man. It's like, hey, man, here's an executive producer credit. No, I'm not like that. I see people's campaigns and everybody's throwing away the credits.
Mm-hmm.
$200, you're an executive producer. What the fuck? And that's why they've got 20 names they're thanking.
Right.
Yeah, they got the money that way, but, what are you making? Are you making shit? Or are you trying to make something good? You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand it. You're throwing away prizes and it cheapens. An executive producer is not $200, $100, $50 to get that credit. I mean,
so, okay.
And then you sell it. So are they getting a piece of the pie for $50? Are they getting a point? What are you negotiating? Or are you just accepting money? Then you're just an investor.
Yeah, that's interesting because I didn't know how all that worked. I know that they get investors, and I've heard that before, but I didn't know that the process of all that.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it, I mean, that's why I'm sending my stuff out to festivals, so you can get a distributor sometimes, or some festivals offer you prizes, $100,000, $5,000, whatever. I mean, I get trophies. I wish it was money.
Right.
I got 30 trophies. I wish I had money. But yeah, man, so I guess this is my calling to do it, finance it my way.
Right. Well, you get to do your movie. Pocket. It's your way. You can direct it the way you want, and everything's your way, and you can look at it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something I can be proud of.
Without probably having to feel like you've been bought, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's very tough.
So you got to come up with the money. You're doing the casting. You're doing the writing. You're putting it all together. So how long is it? So like for The Butcher or even your new movie, how long does it take? How long does it take to do that?
The Butcher, I had a crew. I have crews as well. Okay. I mean, I'm not just a marching band myself. But The Butcher was about a year, and then I had a problem with the film. I had lost. I had a hard drive problem, and I had lost footage.
Oh no!
Thank God I saved everything. I had things on the memory cards.
Right.
So when I downloaded, and then okay, let me just erase what I have on here because it's in my timeline. It's in my Final Cut Pro, right?
Right.
Wrong.
Oh jeez.
So luckily, it was the main important scenes were still kept in the movie. We reshot lots of the kill scenes, which was good in a sense because I made them more violent. I made them more gory. I was looking at the movie. It's my movie. I have it on a big screen in my house. I'm like, And then it's like it needed something, and we just reshot. And we just put that oomph into it and made it more violent and made it more, what the fuck are you guys doing? And it worked. It worked.
That's awesome. Because sometimes things happen for a reason, and maybe this was it. And
right.
So right. You're like,
I mean, there's kill scenes, and then there's kill scenes. So when you've got then when you start bringing out like 500 gallons of blood and start Quentin Tarantinoing it. That's great, So I was like, should I go that far? And I go that fucking far.
That's awesome. What's the timeline to, like, how long did it take you to do The Butcher? And
I mean, Ravage was easy. I started, like I said, it was a short. It was a 20-minute short. The actor I had, who I worked with before, I fired him. We just butted heads. I've known him for 12 years. I hired 2 other guys. Don't know where their fucking mindset was. I don't know if they were trying to Armstrong me for more money or more this or more that, whatever it was. We had a big fight, fired their asses. And finally got the guys that are in this movie that have just like knocked it out of the park. You know, so looking back, it was like totally 2 different films. Mm-hmm. It was one way with 2 guys, and it wound up being what I envisioned because they brought my characters to life.
That's awesome.
We started April. I was done July 26th. We had a big 30 extras, big battle scene, out there with the creatures and this one guy. And it was like, it's a 4-minute oneer. It's a oneer. It's a 4-minute, no cuts, no nothing. And I'm there DPing it, dude. So when you're in the middle, picture middle of Gladiator. You're in the middle of Gladiator filming it. It was like so surreal. And
you're directing it too, right?
Yeah, I told them. I said, you guys keep going. Don't stop. I'll tell you when to stop. Then you get the reaction of the crowd. It's all in one take. One shot, and it's like it's so fucking good. So I was really proud of that.
That's awesome.
If I do say so myself, but no, it was a lot of fun when you're in there, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. I can imagine you're in the moment and you're enjoying that moment, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
and it's everything. It's like it's one of those things. It's almost like this is everything that I've been working for, and it just. Right. It's almost like that epiphany you had, and you're like, I feel it.
Right. And that particular day, it was raining. The one day it does rain in Los Angeles. I was going to cancel the shoot. Mm-hmm. My actor's over at my house. It's 5:00 in the morning. He's like, Mike, please don't cancel. Please don't cancel. Please don't cancel. Please don't cancel. I said, all right. I called up everybody, told everybody to be there. Wardrobe, makeup, blah, blah. Everybody was there. It was drizzling. It wasn't downpouring that much at that time. But it just made the movie. The darkness, the clouds, so it just created that final battle scene. They have weapons, they have tools, they have whatever. There's shields. So it was like Gladiator, and I wanted that kind of epic boom, 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 boom kind of fighting. And when you got that going on, man, it was just the icing on the cake. That's awesome. It was so everything aligned well that day for me, and you rarely get that again. So. Sorry, I don't mean to babble. I don't mean to babble.
I love it. No,
it was good.
No, you can see the excitement in your voice, and that's what I love. That's what I love about doing these things, because the thing is, a lot of times we don't have these one-on-one conversations with a lot of people, and they don't know what you go through, and and that's the fun part, right? Let's find out, let's learn more about who you are. That's and that's the excitement I get from doing these podcasts, because it's just like the work and the ethic and everything else has to be there to create such whatever the best masterpiece that you can create. And so that's the thing, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I mean, I dig it. I dig the guerrilla filmmaking. I love the going out there and sneaking the shots with no permits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm at the fucking LA River. I don't have a permit for the LA River. I got like 30 people as extras back there. Helicopters are flying over, and they're probably thinking, what the hell are they doing?
What's going on down there?
Yeah. So it's like, but, again, growing up, my idols that started out, doing that kind of stuff, guerrilla filmmaking, running out there. And even it's funny. One of my favorite movies is like the Ed Wood. He's out there. He's filming on Hollywood Boulevard. Johnny Depp. Yeah. They got Bela Lugosi out there. Let's get this in. There's the police. Everybody pack up everything and start running. So it's like it reminds me of that. So.
Got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It was like one day there was like across the street there was like five fire trucks, You know, and so my friend says, go out there and start filming them. That's footage. That's free footage.
Exactly.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I went out there with my phone, and you know, I'm filming everything going on. They're bringing out somebody, the stretcher. You know, that's all free footage, man.
So when's your next Ravage going to be out? When do you expect to get that one out?
I was already going to be starting it. I moved it to July. Principal photography, July. We've just been filming a lot of really good gory stuff right now, just to get the smaller stuff out of the way. But principal photography starts July, August, September. Hopefully I can be done by September. I mean, the first one was I had it edited and I had it in festivals in September. We wrapped in July.
Okay. Wow.
And that's when it, little by little, it started, winning, because you have time. Sometimes you can, if people don't know about film festivals.
Explain a little bit about the film festivals, how it works.
Yeah. Well, festivals are expensive. You could have a film festival for $10, or you could have a film festival for $100. Sundance, $85. Cannes, $150. Whatever it is. If you are a first-time filmmaker, I don't suggest you going to just wasting your money, to be honest with you. But there are local Los Angeles ones. I internationally, I'm great. Europe loves my movies. Italy loves my movies. France, Tokyo. I've won Brazil gazillion times. Plus, I've won in Los Angeles. The whatever state has their own Huracan or whatever it is. Stuff like that. I was in Shock Fest last year, 2 years ago with The Butcher in Vegas. We were also picked up this year for Ravage for Shock Fest. Although a lot of these things now are, on virtual, you can't go there. But it's a year from now. I have stuff that I've given $80 or $70, and their festival's not until July. Their festival's not until I have things for next October, next Halloween.
Wow.
So everything is a time thing. Sundance just happened in January. They had to go virtual. Lots of people put a lot of money in there for one-on-one stuff, and hopefully people get their money back because stuff was canceled.
Where do they usually do the Sundance one? Is that in LA? The
Sundance is Utah.
Utah, okay.
Utah, that was Robert Redford.
Right, yeah,
and
I've heard of it,
yeah. That was that whole thing, yeah, that's in Utah.
Okay, I didn't know where it was.
Yeah. Tribeca's in New York. Cannes, obviously, is in France. And things like that. And there's big ones in Texas, Jersey, Huracan. LA's got a lot of stuff going on as well. So, The Butcher, I won 60. I submitted to probably 100.
Okay.
So 30 I didn't get into. I mean, sometimes what happens is you have, say, I have one coming up tomorrow. I have two coming up tomorrow. So they'll let you know if they selected your film. Mm-hmm. You get a selection, or you get not selected. Then they have an event date of when their festival is happening. It could be the next day, or it can be a week later. And then you can get upgraded to whatever, award winner, semifinalist, finalist, an honorable mention, and things like that. So sometimes I've just been like, oh, selected. And then it's like next week, oh, shit, I just award winner. And I'm like, wow. It's like, whoa, shit. That's pretty cool. Like I said, right now, Ravage just got 25. I didn't submit as much. I think I submitted I still have things coming up. So probably about 50.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's still pending. They haven't come up yet. So, we're in February. I got March, April, almost every month coming up.
That's pretty cool.
Again, Expensive.
Makes sense. It's money out of your pocket, right? More money.
50, say at a simple price. 50 film festivals, say at, I don't know, a cheap $30 a pop, $40 a pop. What is that adding up to?
$1,500.
50.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Again, out of my own pocket.
Right.
People, well, again, when you're doing the campaigns and stuff like that, you're trying to put a certain amount of money, obviously, away for festivals as well. You need $30,000 for your film, and then you need another $5,000, maybe $4,000 for festivals.
Now, do you get actors and actresses and people that will come to you and just say, "Hey, I just want to be a part of this, and I'll do it for free"?
Once in a green moon. I mean, I have my lead, Jake Sakaro, who's won 5 Best Actor awards in Ravage. He's been helping me. I don't want to say exactly what he's been doing in the film, but he's been helping. I have a couple of other friends that have been helping me out to help me save money, on it. But no, every actor is paid, every crew member is paid, every makeup artist is paid. I know horror stories where people have not been paid. I'm like, dude, pay your fucking people, man. Just pay. You don't want that rep.
Right.
He doesn't pay his.
Yeah, they won't. Then
he doesn't pay his. I mean, again, if you can, maybe you want to barter with somebody. I'll give you my blah 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 poster signed by Tom Cruise. That's worth $500. I used to autograph collect as a hobby for like 10 years, from 2000 to 2010. So every premiere, every Star Walk of Fame, I was there. So I got everybody. I've got 500 8x10s. I've got like 300 or 400 posters signed by people. Right. So that's my nest, my nest later on. But yeah, I mean, you whatever it is you want to, whatever deal you're striking up with somebody, but be honest to it and keep to it.
Right.
Whether you're bartering, whether you're paying them, whatever,
Interesting.
But be honest about it. I mean, you don't want a bad name in the indie world.
Nobody will come work for you.
Nobody's going to come. I don't want to go down to Sundance. I've heard about you. You're an asshole that doesn't pay people.
Oh, geez.
Right.
I
mean, it's true.
So where do you see yourself going? What's like the next big thing?
Well, right now we just did. I have my friend and producer of my movies. One of my producers, Phil Herman. He's helping me get distribution for Ravage. I'm putting together a sizzle reel. I'm just trying to get distribution. Today, there's so many different platforms. So right. I mean, I'm trying to reach out to Blumhouse. I'm trying to reach out to whoever. I kind of know certain people. And just trying to get my way. Eli Roth, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez. I'm just trying to get noticed. Like everybody else is just out there trying to get noticed. Hey,
right.
It'd be great, man. Eli Roth presents, Ravage 3.
There you
go. that would be dope. You know what I'm saying? But I'm hustling. I'm a New Yorker. I hustle.
Yep.
I don't sit. I hate even when I'm not filming. And even if I get bored so easily, man. I gotta do something, and I'm always trying to learn. I go onto YouTube, and I just play tutorials. Alfred Hitchcock, Marty Scorsese, their take on this, people's takes on that. How do you get that shot? How do you set up day for night? How do you set up for whatever? And I just try to be a sponge and learn everything. You have to. I mean, that's why I got into doing DP, which I love, because I would have people and they're like, I can't. I just got called into work tomorrow, and so that you're fucked. So at least I could DP. And I can do it myself. And I'm saving money on a TP. But it's something that I love to do. I love being the director of photography. My God. I like being there. I'm not in Video Village. I do not recommend Video Village to people.
What is Video Village? Explain that.
Video Village is you as the director, like most people, and you could be a block away. Mm-hmm. You could be 5 blocks away. You're in a tented area. You got monitors.
Okay.
You're watching the action or the actors, and I'm there. I mean, I'm sure you've heard Quentin say the same thing. I'm right there next to the camera, or I am the camera. I'm the DP. They are solely acting for me.
Interesting.
I'm not 5 blocks away, and then you have to repeat yourself to your AD and tell them to do this or tell them to do. Fuck that shit. Talk to the actor. The actor wants to know. The actor has an ego. How was my performance? What more can I give you? What more can I do for you? Or you nailed it. It's perfect. Cut. That's it. Print. Whatever.
Right.
One more for safety. But I'm there. I'm watching the play. Movie. It's a play. You're there. You're the audience member. You are there watching it live. There's no other great feeling in the world than doing that. They're saying your lines. They're giving your character a life. Mm-hmm. And actors need that. Actors need that.
Yeah, they need an audience, right? A little bit.
Because I was on both sides of the fence. There are directors that are technically the best thing since sliced bread, but don't know acting from whatever. And vice versa. And then you got the guys that know everything. You don't have to know everything. That's why you hire a crew. They know what you're envisioning.
Right.
You hire the costume people. They get you the textures, the clothing, that whatever you're looking for. The lighting people. Everybody around you can know more about filmmaking than you do. But nobody knows my script better than me.
True.
That's why you're hiring other people to give you the set, the clothes, the look, the this, the that. That's why you hire other people to do that. Right. And then you just sit back and you can concentrate on what you need to concentrate on. I don't have to know a 50 lens from a 100 lens to this light to that bulb. That's why you hire people to do that for you.
Exactly.
Later on, it's something, if you're interested in, I suggest you learn all that shit. But if you're just starting out, your entire crew can know more than you do about filmmaking. You don't know my fucking script.
No, I agree. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to put out there?
We're in this fantastic age today. I wouldn't be able to do half this shit 10 years. Well, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You could be a one-man crew. People have phones. They have this, and there's platforms out there. You need to hire a crew 20 years ago.
Yeah. You had to have all the special equipment and everything else. It's changed.
Yeah, so it's totally different. Cameras are so much cheaper today. 4K cameras. Whatever the equipment and everything is. So just go out there, and if you're true to yourself, as a director, and if you're a director, writer, whatever, if you're true to yourself and you have a vision, and you live and breathe what it is, you will get it out there. People will take notice, people will take stock, and you will get things done. Just don't do things half-ass or excuses or whining and pissing and moaning. Why me? Why can't I be given $20 million? It will come if you put the work into it, and that's it.
You just got to keep going after it. It's like when I started this podcast. This podcast has only been around for just a little less than a year. I had no
Right.
idea what the hell I was doing, and I was like, I don't know, but here we are. And so, and I just learned how, and we progressed as we've gone and gotten better at it. But I mean, you're talking about technology. Here's some other technology we're doing now with podcasts, and we have video, because this is a video podcast too. So Spotify is now doing video podcasts. So we now are part of that.
Right.
So like, it's a growing thing, and it's like, and if it's anything that you're passionate about, you'll find a way to make it work. And
right. Podcasters, people like you, people that do whatever, you're helping me spread the word. You were kind enough to invite me to your show. So I'm giving you back the respect because you invited me. You're helping me. You're helping me spread the word about my movies, plugging this. Years ago, I wouldn't be able to plug anything.
Yeah. So it's different. It's definitely a different thing out there, and that's what I love about all this. I love all the technology and love doing all this.
It is a great time to be a filmmaker. We got shit thrown at us right now. We're living in a kind of weird time right now, pandemic and and stuff like that, and a war breaking out in Ukraine and all that kind of stuff today while we sit here talking about movies.
Right.
But, it's a great time. I just wish for me at the age that I'm at now, we had this 20, 30 years ago.
Right. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I would have been in a much different place 20 or 30 years ago if I was doing this, right?
Exactly. I feel that I'm trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
at an age, and maybe I've got another 10, 15 years, maybe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I wish I had when I was 40, and I had like another 30 years to go. Whatever it is. But I feel like I need to play catch up. That's why I'm doing movie. I'm trying to make my mark in a limited time space.
That's what I'm doing. I'm 49, so I'm with you.
Well, I'm a lot older than you. So
I feel like I'm trying to catch up and make up sort of same thing. Just I feel like I got a certain time frame left, and I need to work on it and get it out there. And
49 sounds good to me, buddy. Wait till you get to be my age. I got a lot more years on you, believe it or not. But yeah, we are. Please don't take yourselves too seriously. People in the entertainment business, filmmakers, whatever, whether you act or write or dance or whatever, don't take yourselves too seriously. I know I've had friends and people, they got a nice part in something, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, dude, why are you a dick?
It changes people.
It does, man.
It's like, don't forget about where you came from.
I know people that I've given advice to and I've helped and blah, blah, blah. And it's like 2 or 3 years later and I see them on social media and they're this and they're that. And I'm trying to, I'm talking and emailing congratulations. You don't fucking talk back to me? What the fuck? Where are you? Who are you?
It's surprising how many people forget where they come from, and so.
It's like one part in a movie, and you're all that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It doesn't star you.
I don't know. I see it in my world, too. I see it, and it's like,
damn, man. You're a day player at most. And then, I'm too good to talk to you now. All right. Block. Delete. Block. Delete.
Yep.
Come on, man. Don't take yourselves too seriously. You got the part today. Enjoy it. Relish it. Tomorrow or whatever, you may not get anything. People is also quickly, because I know you got a certain amount of time. That's why, like the actors that had were in a TV series, and I don't want to mention actors or the names or whatever, or movies. Nobody promised you something after that.
Right.
You were in, say, whatever, Buckeye Privates. It was a TV series. It ran for 10 years. Be grateful that you got that, because I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get like people, they were great as a kid, but they didn't transfer over into adulthood. Well, you weren't promised that. Just be happy and grateful for what you got, because there's a line of people that wish they had what you had.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I feel sorry for a lot of. I do. I truly feel sorry for a lot of people. Lots of people got screwed over. They didn't get residuals. Then they weren't making the money like other people are making today, $20 million to be on Friends, and that's your residual every year. Oh, boo-hoo, I'm sorry you didn't get more work. But you're living on $20 million every fucking, whatever. Nobody promised you anything more than that.
Nope.
Just be grateful, man. Be grateful, be humble. Yeah. Try to help somebody. Try to lift somebody else up.
Nope. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Pay it forward, give back, do whatever you can. It's going to help you. I believe in karma, too. Oh, I've seen it. I've seen people get their stuff back, and it's so great being back there watching it happen. No. Because, once you screw somebody over, man, and you deserve to get it back, it's out there. I've seen karma. Karma is a bitch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being on our show today. I appreciate everything.
Thank you, man. It's been a blast.
All right. So where can we catch your movie again for Ravage?
Ravage is not out yet.
Yeah, okay. So when's that coming?
It's still in film festivals. I'm trying to have an LA premiere, depending on the way of the world. I think they're allowing masks to be taken off in Los Angeles on Friday. And I'm trying for a premiere for that, and then once I'm talking to distribution to try to get that out there. So hopefully within the next 6 months, I'm kind of hoping. All right. Fingers crossed.
Well, but our audience can go watch The Butcher, and then be on the lookout for it.
I have fan pages on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So if you're on Facebook, just type in Ravage or The Butcher. And there are fan pages with behind-the-scenes photos and videos and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So
cool.
Real Michael 17 on Instagram. That's me personally. So if you want to follow me with that. Perfect. That'd be great. Yeah.
All right, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later. Man. Bye.
Absolutely. Thanks.